Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to the Focus TV. We're joined as always. We got Octavia Wyatt, Raymond Lyons, Cardell Dudley Jr. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. And welcome to Season 5, Episode 35 of the Focus TV. A lot to get through tonight. WNBA All-Star Weekend. Talk about the Mystics. The second half of the season begins. Kennel League standouts. Also, Kennel League top 10 plays. The Wizards Summer League. And then DC United. I'm sure you guys have heard if you're in the area. Very busy day for them as of late. So we're going to break down some of that news. Got the 9-4-50, and no show is complete without a little bit of rapid fire. That said, Ray, the floor is yours. WNBA All-Star Weekend and the Mystics second half preview.
Yeah, man. All-Star was this past weekend in Chicago, and I had a chance to go out there and take it in. It was a great time, man. You know, as it always is. You know, it's a little bit of history being made. On Saturday, they had a 3-point contest in the skills challenge. Allie Quigley, you know, lived up to her reputation. You know, was smoking hot in the final round, put up 30 points. She became the only player, male or female, to win the 3-point contest 4 times. So yeah, that definitely deserves a shout out. Ariel Atkins made it to the final round from the Mystics. You know, definitely proud of her. You know, that was her that's her second time participating in All-Star Weekend. Then on Sunday, they had the game, Team Wilson versus Team Stewart. Team Wilson won. And also they recognized Sue Bird and Sylvia Fowles. That was, of course, they both would be retiring at the end of the season. So, you know, they had special presentations for them, you know, just showed them a lot of love. And Sylvia Fowles, man, highlight of the weekend, 36-year-old with the young legs. She got a breakaway dunk and the arena erupted, you know, so that was great to see, man. You know, and it's just good to see them, you know, get recognized. You know, they like the whole weekend, they just showed them a lot of love, you know, which was to be expected. 2 of the greatest WNBA players ever, capping off some legendary careers. You know, so it's good to see them get the spotlight and get you know, get recognized like that. The Mystics, man, they are back in action tonight against the LA Sparks, starting a little West Coast road trip. They won 3 of the last 4 heading into the All-Star break. So, you know, they kind of regained their footing. They were, you know, a little up and down through you know, through the first half of the season. They stand at 14-10 right now. That's good for 5th place. But you know, their dog days are kind of behind them, so to speak. You know, they were pretty active in the first half of the season. You know, they played 24 games, which was matched for the season high of any team up to this point. So you know, they get a little bit of relief on the back end, which of course helps them with you know, they got 2 players kind of easing themselves back to 100%, you know, for Deladon and for her recovery process. This will help them greatly because 7 of the last 10 games are actually at home. So you know, she'll be here to get, you know, optimum treatment, and you know, it won't be a lot of rest games for her. As she'll be able to they'll be able to work her back in, you know, a little more regularly. You know, even leading up to All-Star break, we saw her kind of inching up. You know, her minutes were going up, you know, and she was kind of rounding the form. Like that last game against Atlanta, she was lights out, man. She had I think she had 26 points on 10 of 17 from the field, added 8 rebounds, and she looked like MVP Elena. So yeah, man, and we all know what that team looks like with her on the court and with her off. You know, we kind of talked about it at length throughout the first half of the season on Mystics Outlooks. You know, just what their offense looks like with and without her. So yeah, of course, to get a player of that caliber on the floor more often is definitely going to help your team. But yeah, man, they came into the season with championship aspirations. You know, we've seen flashes, you know, of what they're capable of at times. It's just a matter of consistency for them. You know, one thing that's been a definite plus was their effort and consistency on the defensive end, and they've really been kind of making their bones on that. You know, because at times their offense has been sputtering, but yeah, man, it should be fireworks down the stretch because, you know, on paper this team is they look like they could be there at the end of this, and yeah, like I said, they've shown it in flashes. So yeah, just want to see them put it all together and see what they can do with these last 10 games.
I know we'll be looking forward to that. Like you said, they didn't waste any time getting started in LA tonight. They'll be back home shortly. I know they'll be at home this Sunday. So you guys make sure you follow the Focus TV on our social media mediums for Mystics Outlook. All right, Cardell, I know you're at the Kennel League once again, week 2. The floor is yours.
Yep, a little bit later start. This time with it being on Sunday night. I think the last game started like about 9:15 or something, so we didn't really get out of it until about 10:30. But the games, the games were competitive. Guys are starting to, understand their roles on these teams. That's the thing. That's the thing about why people love the Kenner League. It's not your typical summer league that you kind of see around the area where, guys kind of just showing up just put on shows and or whatnot. It's a lot of college guys in here, and they're being watched. You know what I'm saying, by all their college coaches and stuff to see how they're meshing with different guys, how they're executing, how they even improve on things that they needed to improve on following last season, and mixing in with some pros. You know what I mean? Who's coming back to get in shape, who's playing to get in shape before they go back wherever they at. Whether they looking for NBA call up on overseas, G League or whatnot. So it's highly competitive, and a lot of guys starting to get comfortable, and it's getting more competitive, and that's what I love. I love competitive basketball on both ends, and that's what you're seeing. When everyone see the highlights, you'll see what I'm talking about. Guys going after dunks, trying to block shots, risking getting dunked on. You don't see that in all the other summer leagues, but you definitely see that here. But as usual, there are 5 players that we always pick that stood out the most, and I'm gonna start with Devin Dinkins, George Mason, freshman. He had 18 points and 13 in the second half. They took a loss to Papa, but still, young fella. He grew up in that game. Second half. Well, for the most part, their team a higher level, which is what he played on. They were up double digits, almost 20 throughout the first half, and close to halftime, Papa made a run and closed it down to a 4-point deficit. So in the second half, Papa came out and jumped on him, and I'm gonna speak more as to why that happened. They jumped on him, and then higher level had to battle back, and Devin Dinkins was the reason why they came back and took the lead late before they ultimately lost. He was hitting bombs from everywhere, man. It was his shot making was ridiculous. If it's one thing that was different from the first week compared to on Sunday, it was the shot making from the guards. I mean, and it wasn't just like they were wide open or blowing past people and getting easy looks, man. I mean, hand to your face, double teams. They were just hitting shots, man. It was beautiful basketball to watch because you saw how both sides were competing. It was great defense, but it was just better offense. And this young fella to be, look, he ain't even started his freshman year yet. I know he's played big time basketball, playing for Gonzaga or whatnot in the WCAC or whatnot, but he was the reason why higher level almost got back in the game and stole it, man. From 3-point range. And well, I mean, one play they double teamed him. He showed poise. He didn't panic. He waited for the guy that was hedging out, which was Andrew Washington from Papa, to have to go back to his man. Waved off somebody was coming with a pick. He waved them off. Went ISO, quick crossover, step back 3, and the whole gym just stood up, man. It was like, damn, dog. Like he really got it in. So he definitely deserved his honor, man. If he's hitting shots like that for George Mason, this upcoming season, it's gonna open a lot of things up for him. And speaking of Andrew Washington, super vet, played at Delaware, obviously, pro ball, whatnot, been on the summer circuit for years. He had 15 points, but he had a game-winning 3-point play for Papa with about 6 seconds left that won him the game over higher level. I'm loving how he's playing because you see a lot of guys that have a reputation on these circuits, and they still be trying to show that, I still got it, but he's not doing that. He's actually being what a vet should be. He's letting the young boys do what they do. Y'all college youngins, y'all go ahead, get yours. Even when they looking at him, he be like, "No, go." He's putting confidence in them. He's like, "Go do what you do." But when they get in trouble or whatnot, he's like the safety blanket. That's when he gets going. He like with the experience, and he can still get it done. Warm ups, he was still dunking. I know everybody know he blew out his Achilles last year. He's getting back healthy. He put in work, so he's still fairly explosive, skilled. You all know he's a power guard, ultra competitive, man. But he was the reason why they won. The way he's leading those guys, leading the troops, and finding his within the flow of the offense, it's a big reason why Papa's undefeated, man. And that 3-point play just kind of sums everything up, man. He drove it to the left of the court after they turned it over. Spent in the lane, took the contact and one, hit the free throw, and put him up for good, man. They got to stop and pull it out, man. So he's been playing excellent. And they're a big reason why Papa's on 3-0 right now at the top of the Kennel League. The next one up is Jelani Williams, transfer from Penn. He's actually going to be at Howard next year. He's had an unfortunate start to his college career. I think he's had multiple ACL tears and surgeries, man. It's unfortunately he's one of the better players coming out of high school. He sure down didn't look like it on Sunday, man. He had 29 points. I think he missed 3 shots. 29 points. He was torching, man. It was bad. It was like, dog, y'all do something, man. Like it was to the point he was just laughing at them. It looked easy. He was efficient, confident. Like I said, if I'd have told you, yo, he had multiple ACL tears that he's probably still trying to recover from, you won't believe me, the way he played. And it didn't matter what type of defense they threw at him, the defender, the size, put quick guards to get up and under him, taller wings, guys that match up with his position. It didn't matter. They all got a little bit of it. The thing I loved about him, he scored from all 3 levels, man. He didn't just settle for a bunch of threes. He really killed him from mid-range, went to the block, turnarounds over both shoulders. It was just a masterpiece in scoring the basketball and shooting the basketball, man. You know, I'm definitely happy to see him get back to his old form because it was a beautiful display. And, of course, his team, Brain, Skill, and Guts, which is a new team, they won. So even more better. The player of the week is actually Georgetown transfer from LSU, Brandon Murray. He was just dominant in every facet, man. And right now, honestly, he's looking like the best player for the Hoyas. He had 21 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists, 6'5" guard. Like I said, he did it all, man. Locked up, destroyed everybody every which way, man. The thing about him, like, he's 6'4", 6'5", but he already got NBA frame, man. He's about 220, man. Like, he's strong, he's powerful, fairly athletic, fearless, can shoot the ball, defend. When he's on, when he's hitting shots from the outside, there ain't really much you could do, man. And the thing is, he knows it. Baltimore kid, Baltimore tough. Don't be surprised if you're making a lot of noise this upcoming season, Georgetown, because it's been child's play so far in the Kennel League. Primo Spears plays in the backcourt with Brandon Murray. Same thing with the Toons. Transfer from Duquesne, 23 points and 3 steals. The thing about him is he's streaky. He loves to dribble the ball a lot. A lot of people getting on him about that. But, he has a handle. That's how he sets up what he's trying to do. He has to learn how to be more efficient with less dribbles. Yeah, but that's what this league is for. But he was on target, man. And the thing I love, he didn't settle for a bunch of threes. Like when I saw him at Duquesne last year in the A-10, he murdered from mid-range. Just quick crossovers, getting to the spot, elevating constantly, knocking them down, just knocking them down to the point it hurt. And, with him going and Brandon Murray going, it was tough. You couldn't stop it. I mean, they working on 50 points between 2 players in the summer league game with around the clock. It's hard to beat the team when you're giving up that much production from the backcourt, man. So that kind of tells you about the talent base that the Georgetown Warriors will be bringing going into next season. The thing with them is there's only one basketball, so it's going to be interesting to see how Patrick Ewing, decides whose roles is which and who gets shots and all that. But that's why he's the coach, and that's why he's the Hall of Famer. He got to figure that out. But they have a lot of talent in the perimeter, man. Once everybody kind of fit in and figure things out, Georgetown for damn sure should win more than 6 games next season. So, all in all, that's the week 2 Kennel League team, man. Be back up there this upcoming weekend, and we'll see who stand out then.
Definitely looking forward to it. I think I get to go this weekend, so I'm excited for that. Finally, y'all didn't have fun. Get to hear about it. Wasn't there, so I look forward to it. We're not yet done with the Kennel League segment this week. We got the Kennel League top 10 plays courtesy for our guy Christian from Media. So we're gonna play those for you guys, followed by our first break. When we return, Wizards Summer League, because Wizards Twitter, y'all been acting a fool about a couple, like literally 2 or 3 Summer League games. Y'all need to take a deep breath. Y'all not gonna make it to the regular season at the pace y'all on. I need y'all to just woosah. It's really not that deep. It's the middle of July. I need to relax. You're watching the Focus TV. Welcome back to the Focus TV. As promised, Cardell, Wizard Summer League.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to get too deep into things. The Wizards are 1-1 right now currently. Some bright spots are they're averaging 98 points per game, which is second in this league currently. They're shooting 44% from the field, 34% from deep, and 84.5% from the free throw line, which is ranked third in the league. So all in all, they're getting it done. But the bad thing about their offense is there isn't much ball movement, which is, I guess you can kind of expect it on some league with the number of players trying to stick or, elevate or trying to find themselves in the rotation moving in the next season. But it shouldn't be this bad, man. They have too many decent guards, too many talented guards to be ranked 29th in assists. They're literally only averaging 12 assists per game. You look across some league, you got some guards averaging over half of that, damn near 7 to 8 by themselves. And that's been an issue. The lack of flow, lack of familiarity amongst one another. It's something to look at. You know what I mean? Obviously, we know the majority of these players won't be in the mix as far as the Wizards concerned, but there are a few that will be on the go, maybe even getting call-ups to play with the Wizards and whatnot. So it's just something that, to keep an eye on as some league move forward. Jordan Shako, he shined in the first game in the 105-99 loss to Detroit. He had 24 points. Jordan Goodwin added 20 points and 5 rebounds off the bench. But we should expect that from those guys. They have NBA experience. They were big pivotal pieces for the go-go last year. So some league, it's not new to them. They know what they got to do. And then in a win over Phoenix, a double-digit win over Phoenix, Brandon Carey Jr. posted a double-double with 15 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks. Jimmy Echanike added 12 points and 6 rebounds. Like I said, those two obviously go NBA experience. Once again, some league is not new to them. They just got to work and do what they had to do. I know everybody's kind of tripping off the production of Johnny Davis and shooting issues. Look, he's competing hard, but he's struggling shooting the ball. He shot 1 of 11 in the loss to the Pistons, and 6.4% of the field in the window. Now 5-3. That's its turnover to assist ratio, and for him to be able to play both guard spots, that's not a good look. And he's fouling a little bit too much. Right now, it just looks like the game is fast for him, and he's pressing. I think he just need to let the game come to him. He's talented. He's ultra competitive. That you can see when he was coming out of college at Wisconsin. But today, man, it's new. And the more you press, the more they're gonna pick on you, and they're gonna take advantage of your over aggressiveness. So he has to learn how to play chess a little, and it'll come. That's why you play these summer league games. I know that's what Wilson was kind of alluding to as far as Wizards overreacting. You know how they good games from some of the other rookies, and they about to win MVP like a bus. But all in all, I think he fine. He gets training, can play with the dogs and learn. I think he'll be fine in the long run.
Yeah, we appreciate that measured take because people have an issue doing that these days because everyone knows whatever you do in your first 3 summer league games totally defines your entire NBA career. Those are the rules per Twitter, of course. All right, DC United, I apologize in advance. It's going to take a little bit. Let me take a deep breath and knock this out. So we started with the Black and Red suffered a horrendous defeat last Friday. They lost 7-0. I'll say that one more time. 7-0 in soccer. Hurts. Hurts to say it. Hurts to hear it. Hurt to watch it. Alejandro Bedoya scored a brace. As did Michael Urey. And Julian Carranza had a hat trick for the Union. So, 2 players scored 4 goals, 2 apiece, and then 1 player scored the remaining 3. Again, just it was horrendous. It was embarrassing. There's nothing positive to come from that. That brought DC United's record to 5-10-2. On the season, they're currently 13th in the Eastern Conference standings. They're currently 9 points back of 7th place Cincinnati. Defender Brad Smith was injured in the loss of the Union. Adding insult to injury, he tore his ACL. Wish him a speedy recovery. He's going to be out for at least up to nine months. Goalkeeper Billy Mead underwent hand surgery on June 30th. He's expected to miss 2 to 3 months. All right, so you go from that horrendous news, a little bit better vibes here. Let's start here. In the last 48 hours or so, the rumor mill started churning. Credit to the Athletics' Pablo Maurer for having it first, breaking the news that Wayne Rooney was expected to be DC United's new head coach. That news became official today as Rooney was reintroduced in the local media, this time as a head coach versus a player 4 years ago. Prior to returning to the Black and Red, Rooney coached Derby County in the English Championship. He helped them fend off relegation in the 2021 season as a player coach, but a 21-point deduction, which is, they were issued by the governing body. Again, 21-point deduction just doesn't sound good. You know the way soccer works. You get points for winning. So you want to talk about starting at a deficit? You started the year down 21 in points. Just keep that in mind. That said, they almost got close to duplicating that feat of holding off relegation, but that hole was just too deep. He resigned as Derby County's coach in late June. He'll be taking over a group here at DC United that has a lot of ground to make up. It's going to be interesting to see how active they are in the secondary transfer window, July 7th through August 4th, as they have 2 designated player spots to fill. His coaching staff will be announced at a later date. Interim head coach Chad Ashton will remain in charge of the team until Wayne Rooney has received his work visa. Dave Casper, president of soccer operations for DC United, had this to say: Wayne is a winner and a competitor. His work ethic and what he demands of himself and his players is second to none. Wayne's approach to the game and style of soccer he wants to play fits within our philosophy, and we believe he's the right person to lead our club moving forward. Wayne Rooney had this to say at a fan event tonight, which he showed up, and all the supporters were more than happy to welcome Wayne back to the district, especially under these circumstances. He said it will get better, it will improve, and I will bring success back to the club. DC United hosts Columbus Wednesday night at Audi Field. Again, just reminded, Wayne Rooney should not be coaching. Will be Chad Ashton. Still has that paperwork to work out. Last but not least, though, want to congratulate you guys. Been hearing me talk over and over about this gentleman since he's gotten here. Taxi Fountas was among the 26 players named in the 2022 MLS All-Star Game. Keep in mind, he arrived in April. He made his debut April 16th. So, this is July. In 2 months, he's played 10 games. He made the All-Star team. He was one of 26 players. I've been putting these graphics up here past couple weeks, showing you how productive he's been. Clearly, the league would agree. So, he's coming off, MLS Player of the Week. He's made MLS Team of the Week already. And, he caps this off with an All-Star selection. So, there is a silver lining here. I'm very interested to see what Wayne's philosophy is with the team, Max and O standpoint, what they're able to do, and obviously what he's going to be, how he chooses to utilize players like Taxi and Michael Estrada, and then some of the youngsters. One of the things he did well at Derby was they didn't have a good team. Like, just keep it a buck. They had a very old back line, so about my age back line, people almost touching 40 at their back line. That is not good. And they held things together in that 2021 season. He inspired a lot of confidence in the youngsters on their team. So we're going to see what he's able to do. And as I said, with the second transfer window opening, we're going to see he's obviously going to have a big say in if they're able to go out and identify and secure 2 designated players, what they bring in. So definitely looking forward to all of that. But again, just a whole lot this week. Obviously some bright news for DC United, who has been going through it. Again, currently, they are second to last in the Eastern Conference. However, because soccer is soccer, every win is worth 3 points. They are just 3 wins away from the 7th place team, which is Cincinnati, who's they also had a member of their team, a familiar name, Luciano Acosta. might remember him. He was here at DC United playing with Wayne Rooney a few years back. He was named to the All-Star team as well, so shout out to him. As was Paul Areola, who was here recently as well. So DC United fans, I'm sorry. I'm sure that doesn't help because, they could all be here with Taxi. Different story. Either way, we're going to see how things go second half of the season. Now for the 9-4-50 breakdown. Jamal Hayward, this week we'll be breaking down a sidestep into a hezzy and shot options off it. Again, it's a sidestep into a hezzy, shot options off it, be followed by our second break. Then when we get back, good old rapid fire. You're watching the Focus TV.
Today we're going to break down a move coming downhill, leading to a jump shot or finish at the rim, utilizing a side step and then adding a hezzy. So it really only takes 2 dribbles to get this move right. So we're going to break it down from this wing as well as the right wing as well also too. So you can walk into this move to start into it. So we're walking in with our left hand dribble. Now the first part of this move is the side step. So the key to the side step, since we're doing it with our left hand and our left foot, is a hard pound. So you want to pound the ball hard. Now that hard pound gets the defender engaged, whether you can shoot the ball or go to the basket or go back. So hard pound. Now as you hard pound, that left foot moves back or to the side. So side step or move back. Doesn't matter. Now, being that hard pound gets them engaged, now you can free them for a jump shot and attack the lane or attack another open space for a jump shot. So I'm here with the side step, then I go to the hezzy. Now with your hezzy, you want to make sure you want to sell your hezzy, bringing your right hand to the ball and keeping eyes on the rim. So when you side step, you got to attack to the basket. Also, after the side step, hezzy, go to the open space. Same thing on their side. Let's break it down. So again, on this side, we're using the right hand and the right foot. So hard down with the right hand. So side step. So after the side step, the left hand comes to the ball. You want to put your eyes to the rim. So also want to get your body square too also. Here to the open space. Or finish at the basket, one or the other.
Welcome back to the Focus TV. I want to thank Jamal Hayward for knocking out the 9-4-50 breakdown this week. All right, Cardell, what you got for us, man?
We got a few things covering all the sports leagues, but we'll start off on the NFL side. Bills wide receiver Stephon Diggs thinks he and his brother, Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs, are among the NFL's elite players at their positions, and he thinks the truly elite are a pretty small group. Stephon said that he always knew Trayvon would have no trouble covering most NFL wide receivers and that he doesn't think most of them can really do everything a great receiver needs to do. I told Trey this a while ago. Bro, 70% of the NFL receivers are going to be easy to check, Stephon said. There's only like 7 to 8 spicy receivers who can catch, can create separation, can run fast, can stop. Stephon Diggs also said there are only 3 NFL corners as the only ones that really follow number 1 receivers week in and week out. Xavier Howard, Marshawn Lattimore, and Trayvon. Octavian, I'm coming to you first. What are your thoughts on what Big Bro is saying?
I mean, first of all, that's what he's supposed to say. So, I mean, this is his brother. Of course he's going to say that. So, I don't put nothing past him when it comes to that. But, I mean, it's not a terrible take. I just need to see it consistently because I can't sit here and say he's a top tier in this special elite group at his position, and we only saw it 1 year. And I mean, granted, even during the 1 year, I mean, the most exciting part of that was just his interceptions. I mean, there were plenty of plays where he got cooked too. So let's be honest when it comes to that. So, I mean, I get it. That's your brother. You're supposed to stick up for him. You're supposed to say, like, he elite, he this, he that. And I think he has a good trajectory to do that. But, I mean, he has a lot more to prove before we even get in anywhere near that type of conversation. But props out for, I mean, he's his brother's keeper. I can't be too mad at him. But if anybody else outside of that says that, then maybe we have an issue.
Cowboy fan. Ray, what do you
This is
take?
the interesting part.
Like Octavia said, man, big bro posts say that, but slow down. We got a small sample size here, and like Octavia said, the first half of the season was great. He got all those picks, but then quarterback started noticing that he was overzealous, and they started taking advantage of that. So just slow down, man. Like this is the problem with a lot with a lot that goes on when people talk about sports. Yeah, he had a great rookie year, not taking nothing away from that, but it's some holes in his game. And yeah, bro just put a big target on his back, to be perfectly honest.
That too.
So say he comes out next year and he doesn't even have to have a bad season. If he doesn't produce like he did last year, this soundbite is going to be broadcast every week. Oh, Stephon Diggs said this and that, and Trayvon's not living up to it. Like we know we know how the media goes. But I don't have a problem with it. But if this is some type of motivational tactic or something, I don't know what's going on here. But just slow down, man. Like that's a lot of pressure to be putting on somebody. That's only has 1 year of professional football under their belt. Hopefully he's in the lab this offseason trying to correct some of the shortcomings he had last year, because he's got the tools. It's a lot of good things on his side, but this it's definitely some room for improvement. So yeah, man. Kudos to both of them. I hope it works out. But yeah, man, it was I just feel like it was kind of unnecessary, but what have you.
Wilson.
Yeah, I'm with everybody else. He has an elite pair of hands at that position, some of the best in the league, and I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that, and that can't be taken away. However, sir, while the number has not yet been pinpointed, it's either 1,068 or 1,051. You gave up over 1,000 yards this year, along with 5 scores. The 11 takeaways is amazing. However, there's other parts to your job, and 2 things can be true. You've shown that if someone puts the ball near you, you will take it away. Kudos to you for that. However, they're also hunting you. You got to fix that part of it. Great corners that can take it away, they usually just leave you alone. You, however, like I think one of the plays that come to mind, they're playing the Patriots. Mac went to Kendrick Bourne. Trayvon picked it off. A great corner is like, oh, man, I threw Jalen Ramsey a pick. I ain't messing with Jalen Ramsey for a little bit. Mac comes right back and hits KB again on Trayvon to the crib for like 70 yards. That's the thing. Like, you can't – that's not a position to be back 50% on. That's a dangerous place to be at. In this league where it's already stacked against you from a defensive perspective, right? Everything's geared to the offense. You got to get there. You need to take a page out of Big Bro's handbook, be more consistent. But you're definitely talented, but yeah, we got to chill, man. You got to put some more on tape, buddy. That's a lot to say.
Just relax. Jeez, just relax.
All right, sticking with the NFL, when Leslie Frazier was fired as head coach of the Vikings after the 2013 season, he figured he would eventually earn a second head coaching job. Obviously, he hasn't. Frazier spent 2 seasons as the defensive coordinator of the Bucs after the Vikings fired him, and now he's heading to the 7th season on the Bills staff, but he admits he finds it disappointing not to get another head coaching job. Leslie Frazier was fired as head coach of the Vikings after the 2013 season. He had a little bit above 500 record at that period. So I'm going to start with you, Ray, on this one. Do you think it's injustice that he hasn't got another opportunity, or do you just think it's par for the course as what goes on in the NFL with a certain type of coaching?
This is definitely typical behavior for the NFL, man. Like, he's black. of course he's not going to get opportunities. Like, it's no need to sugarcoat it. I think the problem is too many people try to sugarcoat it and try to put some type of spin on it when they just need to come out and say the NFL is racist. Everybody knows it. I don't understand why you would ever try to tiptoe around something like that when you're trying to correct the issue. Like, you can't allow them any leeway or not put the full pressure on them on that front if you expect something to change. Like, at the very least, you might be able to embarrass them into doing the right thing once. So yeah, man, because like, and I don't even care about his success or lack thereof, because white coaches get to fail multiple times and get opportunities time and time again. So I don't care, man. Like, and then it's not like he was terrible. So yeah, what are we even doing here? Like, and yeah, I get it. I get his frustration. Not just like every other every other black assistant or who's deserving of a shot, or a black head coach that maybe just got one opportunity and hasn't been able to get another. So yeah, this is this story's pretty old and it's rinse and repeat. So yeah, man, it's nothing new here. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it needs to be, this needs to be something they talk about every day on sports networks, instead of this other cooked up nonsense that they decide to put on TV. But yeah, hopefully we're seeing more black coaches be vocal about this. So maybe that will eventually put some pressure on some folks, or maybe people just kind of start to give them these opportunities. Yeah, I don't know what fixes it at this point, but yeah, I could definitely see some frustration brewing if I'm sitting in his seat.
You mean no more Jordan LeBron GOAT debates on TV shows? But I'm gonna correct myself. It's actually that in 2 seasons with Minnesota, he finished 500 or better. When he took over in 2010, he finished the remainder of the season 3-3, and in 2012 they went 10-6. The other 2 seasons they were below 500. So, but Wilson, what are your thoughts?
What Ray said, like loudly, like water's wet, sky's blue. Black head coach, you got one shot only, and the situations are trash. Those are the rules, unless someone looks out and sets you up for success. I would love it to be different, but I live in this current reality, and like Ray said, we just want to talk about it, because NFL is one of the things, like you said, if you don't shame them into it, like, they haven't stopped doing what they haven't stopped their current set of practices. So, they're not going to. I've seen far worse coaches get multiple opportunities. So, I couldn't think. I just can't quite put my finger on what else. It's what Ray said. Yeah, that's why. Because there's a lot of trash coaches that have gotten way too many opportunities, who have no, like, I'm talking about who get, all those memes when it's like you got the job that you lied about on your resume. That's a bunch of NFL coaches. Like, I mean, a ton of them. They go from quality control assistant to head coach. Oh, you did really bad. It's okay. Go be Bill Belichick's assistant for like 10 seconds. Microwave it real quick. Well, act like you learned something new, and you'll get another chance to fail. Detroit Lions, anybody behind before hiring the guy they just hired? Like, who was it they did mad dirty? Jim Caldwell.
Mm-hmm.
They still don't have a reason. Matt Patricia had no business being in charge of a football team on that level, just walking around with the stupid pencil in his ear, not doing anything, and they just let it go. Oh, well, I mean, but like, again, if Bill Belichick is willing to let you walk out the door, if you take the same attitude you take with players, and he lets players go, 90% of the time, he lets them go too early. If he's letting coaches go, I'm going to watch him. Like, I'm not hiring nothing. Clearly, he doesn't feel like he needs them. But again, just bad people getting multiple opportunities. And that doesn't go for everybody that's working for the Bill. But Matt Patricia is one of many bad examples of people that got opportunities and had no business getting as head coaches.
Octavia.
What they said, of course. But again, it's not surprising. The black coaches get the short end of the stick 99.9% of the time. And then when they do get opportunities to be head coaches, they get put in terrible situations. They don't get enough time to turn said terrible situation around. I mean, the most recent example of that was David Culley in the Texans. I mean, a man had been waiting for years and years of being a coach in the NFL to get a head coaching position, to get a trash team that just lost Deshaun Watson and the whole debacle that went with that, who did a decent job last year for what he had, to get fired. It's just like, it's not even funny anymore. It's just like a norm. So I'm not surprised that he hasn't gotten another opportunity. I'll be surprised if he does. All these rules and programs and things that the NFL is quote unquote putting into place to give more Black candidates a chance at a head coaching position. It falls on deaf ears at this point. I mean, there's so many talented Black coaches. Eric Bieniemy is the first one that always jumps in my mind. That should be a head coach. And like you said, the only other way that you become a head coach in a good position as a Black coach, usually you have to be kind of parlayed into it, i.e. Todd Bowles getting another chance, but that's because Bruce Arians looked out for him, So I'm not surprised at this point. I hope he gets another shot because like we've all sat here and said, it's not like you can't even really say anything about the record or how he is a coach because there's been trash white coaches getting time and time again. So I'm not surprised. I'll be surprised if something changes, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with all three of you. I just wish somehow we got to get more of us in the front office. And I don't know if y'all listened to it, the Mike Tomlin interview with on the Pivot, and he was talking about how he brought on Brian Flores. And he said, after all this, he got fired and he put in a lawsuit. He just reached out to Flores just to let him know, like, yo, there's somebody here if you need to talk. Like, because he kind of understood at that point, most people in the NFL were just looking at him like a pariah. Don't touch him. He's like nuclear, is dangerous or whatnot. And from that, they sparked up a relationship. He would know him a little bit just from playing against one another, coaching against one another, but they didn't really know each other before that. But then the more he started thinking about it, he was like, well, hold on. This is an outstanding coach because I know I coached against him. This is an outstanding coach and he's unemployed. I think he can help the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he said he literally went in Rooney's office and said, hey, I'm thinking about bringing in Flores to help my defense or be a linebackers coach or whatnot. And what you think? Rooney's like, do it. And it was just that simple. And he hired him. But see, that's a brother understanding what's going on with another brother that can go ahead. Same thing said these white folks do all the time, but they don't have to deal with the circumstances in which they get the opportunity. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. And now he feel like, and Tomlin said this, I got an overqualified position coach on my staff. Overqualified. He shouldn't even be a damn linebackers coach. He's been a head coach. So that's going to make our team better. And I'm hoping we can get this thing to go and go on the run. And that's just a perfect example where I feel like we just need to get, I feel like a lot of the cats in the NFL, the players and stuff, they focusing on the wrong thing. It's too much. I think they get it when it's too late, when they're out of the league and they can't get in there. They need to start getting it more while they're playing so they can move up the ladder and get into these positions when their post-playing career is over, during that period, so they can create opportunities, because that's the only way things will change. It's not going to change. These good old boys is going to keep, having their sons inherit, daughters, whatever, inherit the franchise, or bringing on other people that look like them, they're comfortable with, to keep reiterating the same old BS, and it's going to stay the same. I know me and Wilson talked on Wax about it. Look, I don't really have any sympathy for the players. I had 2 times to really shake things up. And once again, ego, pride, and dumb stuff got in the way. And here we are. So, but that's just an example of what needs to change. That's the only way I could see it changing, because if they don't get up in the front office where they can actually, and luckily Rooney, the owner, is an open-minded, obviously one of the best owners in sports, that Rooney family throughout history of sports, man. But luckily, he has an open mind that only care about what's right and what's the bottom line. The rest of them owners, good luck with that. But that's the only way I can see it changing, man. Hopefully, it comes sooner than later. But man, the NFL is so behind the eight ball. It's crazy, man. Next one, we're gonna move over to the NBA. We all know Giannis is back-to-back MVP, led the Bucks to a championship. Who I feel is the best player in the game today. But Andre Iguodala, who's a free agent, who obviously won the championship last year with the Warriors, was speaking about Rasheed Wallace, who played in the NBA from '95 to 2013. He feels Rasheed Wallace probably could have been a top 5 player in the league for a 10-year stretch. In today's game, he just chose I'll do my thing over here. He was shooting threes from half court. He was shooting half court shots left-handed and right-handed. If Rasheed Wallace played in modern day basketball today, if he played in our league today, he'd be a top 5 player in the league. He'd be better than Giannis, and I love Giannis. Octavia, just what are your thoughts on Mr. Iguodala's comments on this?
I hate these comments. I hate these woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever type stuff. I mean, to me, Rasheed Wallace was a great player. We all know that. I don't know, but like Giannis is just different to me. And his work, work ethic is one thing. I'm not saying I knew Rasheed Wallace's work ethic, but you can see Giannis's. He got a daggone Disney movie made about him, which is crazy. I hate these type of takes because it's always just how you feel about the player, to be honest. I personally don't think it. I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but because I just think Giannis is just different. I mean, the way that he's improved over just the last couple of years, like he went from barely being able to shoot a free throw to like knocking down 15 in a row, back-to-back MVP and everything. But I mean, I guess that's his opinion.
Ray?
Yeah, I typically try to stay away from stuff like this because, unless Doc Brown going to pull up in the DeLorean and take these guys back in time or bring the old guys here, it's a baseless conversation. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, of course, but I think one of the main things that would separate Rasheed Wallace from maximize his potential is just his mindset. Like he had the tools, he had the physical capabilities in the game to, he probably could have had a better career than he had, if his mind was in a different place. But that's neither here nor there. But this is a conversation not worth having to me. But to pick someone with Giannis's resume as the target is kind of weird, but what have you. But yeah, like I said, man, I don't do the whole what if thing because it's no way to really prove it. And the game today kind of caters more to what she did. Like he was a big that shot threes and he had that capability, and that's really what was praised in his modern era. But yeah, man, like pick somebody else. Like I don't know what point he was trying to prove, but it's whatever. If that's what he wants to say, then so be it. But it is interesting that it'll be interesting to hear what the you can't talk if you didn't play in the league crowd will have to say about this, because Iguodala's obviously a long-time veteran in the NBA and had a lot of success. So basically people only use that when they agree with the person that's saying it. So, it'll be interesting to see how this conversation shakes out. But yeah, man, it's just a whole lot of fantasy stuff going on. I don't really partake in all that.
Wilson?
I'd have been fine with the comment. It was just like, Rasheed Wallace's game would have really, put him in a great place in today's game because we know what the tool set Rasheed had. Like, yeah, I think everybody agrees with that. If you were just like Rasheed's game was tailor made for this era, he'd go nuts. He could be a top 5 player in the league today. Period. I'd probably be cool. Like literally, your opinion, I have no issue with it. I think Rasheed is stupid tough, crazy. Like he was a very good player. We know how good he was on both ends of the floor. That said, like I don't get everybody's weird infatuation with like just pulling Giannis's name out of hat. Like I think you could have just stopped it right there, and I don't think anybody would have an issue with the statement. But for me, the issue was taking a step forward to being like, oh, the back-to-back MVP, finals MVP, the guy at 27 years old who's clearly on his way, like so far. Why go that far with it? I was cool with it. Everything before bringing Giannis up, for me.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Wilson. I don't know why these current players, they always throw a little slight jabs at Giannis for whatever reason. I think it's because he don't kiss the ass. He don't be trying to be friendly with them or whatnot. He just do him. And it works for him. So I'm not knocking that. But yeah, you could just gave Rasheed his props, man. Look, Rasheed was every bit as talented as Duncan and KG. He was stupid talented, man. His problem wasn't even, people won't point to the text and stuff. It wasn't even that. I think he just didn't like going out the realms of team basketball. He was unselfish to a fault at times. I go back to 2000 when they had the Lakers on the ropes before that dynasty even got started with Shaq and Kobe. He was killing the Lakers. Like nobody in the Lakers could guard him, even Shaq. Shaq was making business decisions. He was destroying Robert Ory, and Shaq was letting him die on that island. But when it got crunch time, Rasheed kind of wanted to go back to team basketball. He had to understand, like, bro, like you're the X factor for this team that the Lakers have no answer for. We got to go through you. And then they try to go through Steve Smith and all that. By that time, the Lakers had woke up, and that's how they came back and beat them. He learned when he got with the Pistons, even though Chauncey and Rip did that. Once again, Lakers, he destroyed them again. Then he made amends. He ain't let it get away this time. That was an older, more mature. Rasheed understood that. He was great in every aspect. You know what I'm saying? It's just he just couldn't get out there. He just didn't want to accept how good he was. And sometimes it's like even KG was like that to a fault. It was like, yo, dog, you need to keep shooting, but everybody else ain't getting touches. For us to win this game, you got to keep shooting. It just comes down to that point. That's the difference between him, I'm talking about Sheed, and Giannis. Giannis don't stop. He's going to be relentless. He could be 0 for 100, and he still won't be coming down there trying to come. And his will. It's just that. It comes back down to that. Look, if Rasheed wanted to be, of course, he'd be first ballot Hall of Fame, all that. He was that talented. He was as talented as any power forward to play the game. But it's more than that. And that's what I be trying to tell people about basketball players. It's not just your skill and your damn talent. It's how bad you want it. Like, are you going to dig deep and keep competing? When everything seems up, like everything is just going to hell for your team, you're just like, all right, you're going to fade and you're going to keep pushing. You know what I mean? It goes back, like I go back to Giannis last year when he had a knee injury. He supposed to be done. In the playoffs, knee extension, dude, fella, come on, man. That's supposed to be a wrap. And he came back after a couple games and next thing you know, they won in the championship, dog. It's ridiculous the stuff he was doing, man. And that can't be matched. His will is only a small group of players in NBA history that kind of got that will, man. You could go back to the Bill Russells, the Jordans, the AIs. They just keep coming. You got to take them out. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to allow you. They're not going to beat themselves. They're going to keep going till the clock runs out. You got to take them out. And that's what Giannis had, man. But yeah, man. Look, will Rasheed Wallace definitely be one of the top players in the game today? Oh, no question. Hell yeah. Salton is terrible as defense is today. It'd be easy for him, like no question. But against Giannis, they gonna battle though. That ain't an easy win. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if he would be better than Giannis, like Iguodala said or whatever. I doubt that. They would just be battling, and then it comes down to who's around him. And Giannis has proven that he's willing to go the extra step to make sure that his team gets over the hump. That's all you can go by, man. But against the other, bigs. Maybe him and Embiid will battle. They'll battle too. I don't really see nobody else messing with him. Not even AD, because we all know AD. So yeah, you know what I mean. But nah, you can't just say that, man. But like I said, it's how he view. I don't understand why people just keep poking at Giannis. I would leave him alone personally. This dude is pretty much impossible to deal with right now. I would be nice. Hopefully, he let his guard down so we can have a chance. Because really, things might be different right now. If Chris Middleton was healthy, I would have loved to see that Bucks team against the Warriors team. Would have got interesting because ain't nothing on the Warriors could do with Giannis. It would have been it would have been ugly, but we'll see how it goes, man. We'll move on to the next question. The NBA Board of Governors is expecting today to approve the play-in tournament as a regular part of the future league seasons. The NBA have been voting on the play-ins, the inclusion on a year-to-year basis for the 2020-2021 season and the 21-22 seasons, but the support exists ahead of Tuesday ownership meetings at the Summer League to turn the competition into a regular component of the league schedule. The Board of Governors is also expected to pass a rule that penalizes the take foul on fast breaks, thank God, with the free throw and the possession of the ball for the offense. Wilson, what do you think about this on the new rule changes for both, not just for the play-in, but also for the take foul?
Amen. I'm sick of y'all this era has found a way not to play defense. I would say it. I'm sick of y'all. Y'all went, and kudos to y'all for thinking about it because you're sharp, but y'all found a way to not play defense in a league where you already don't play it. Again, the math that was done. And then y'all don't even really think about that fully because, one of the things we heard throughout the finals is, those stupid take fouls add up when you're important players. I think it was Jeff Van Gundy kept saying that. And Jason Tatum, sorry, I'm not trying to bash you right now. Bring it up. You need to stop that. You're the first person I think of. You go out your way, you pick up at least 2 take fouls a game. And then later in the game, you got to be out because just a normal foul happens, but you got 2 dumb fouls already. Boy, if you don't run back and go make a play.
Yep.
You're 3 years old in NBA years. Run back and make a play. Maybe get in the way. Maybe go block a shot. But the take foul is so trash. I'm so happy they took it away. It's so dumb. It's been dumb. I kind of got it in the international competitions because I got it to a standpoint. It's all right. There was a time where it's all right, what y'all gonna do? I get it. I'm sick of seeing them folks run past me and dunk. That's cool. This ain't those times anymore. Everybody got people that can run by you and dunk from all different parts of the world. Take that stupid rule out. If it's 1-on-2, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, tell the rest of your highly conditioned teammates to get their back on defense or not. But stop fouling. It's incredibly stupid. So thank you, NBA. And I'm done with my old man yell at clouds thing because that's so stupid.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was funny because right when you asked your question, right before I got the notification that it did get approved, the Board of Governors did approve it and everything for both of those things. So I agree. Number one, just so I don't have to hear Jeff Van Gundy talk about it all season. Let's start there because literally every game that I watch that he commentates on, he says it every single game. So now he won't have to say it, but I'll probably have to deal with him and say they probably changed it because I kept complaining, which is maybe partially true. But yeah, I agree because it's stupid. It's one of the dumbest things that happens in the game as well. I feel like the league probably is looking at it from a different aspect than maybe people who are looking at the basketball aspect of it. I think the league is just it's taken away from possible great plays that could happen and dunks and bring more looks and stuff to the league or whatever. But from the basketball standpoint, it's dumb too because it's just why are you fouling them? They're going to score anyway. At this point, if they have that many people ahead of you, what's the point of taking a foul just so everybody can then walk back on defense as opposed to, running back on defense that we've all learned to do playing the game since we were 5. So I'm actually happy that they did change this rule as well. I'm very excited to see how quickly that these players adapt to this new rule change because when they do a lot of these rule changes lately, you can see how long it takes for them to adapt and how stressful it is for them. We know how it was with the kick out and the leaning into the player when you're shooting on your three and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how many people continue to do it. And then, like, dang, then they got a shot and the ball back, and I still got a foul. So it becomes dumb. So I'm interested. That's going to be the funny part to me, just to see, like, who continuously does it. And then even if that's the case, are people still going to do it? Because I think the caveat to the rule is that they can only do that in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter or the last 2 minutes of overtime. So it's still a slight option for them. I was just reading it. So they can't do it in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter and the last 2 minutes of overtime. But yeah, we'll see.
Right.
Man,
I ruined it. I'm sorry. I ruined the rule. I was just reading it on Bleacher Report.
Adam killing me, man. Adam killing me, dog. You ain't got to cater everything to the players, dog. Damn. Go ahead, Ray.
So it's sad they gotta hold the goddamn Geneva Convention just to make these dudes play basketball. Like, and then even like you said, they still tried to throw them a bone with allowing them to do it in the last 2 minutes. Like, come on, man. Come on. How much more handicaps you got to put in the game? Like, get back on defense. It's not difficult. So yeah, I'm glad they semi-addressing it at least. But yeah, like, it doesn't even make sense. Like Wilson said, like, you only got 6 fouls. Like, why are you just intentionally getting one when throughout the course of the game, if you're playing defense, you're gonna pick up some regardless. So, but yeah, whatever, man. But yeah, hopefully, this will clean it up a little bit. But and also, I don't like the play-in. I'm never gonna like it. You got 82 games to handle your business.
It's here to stay.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm gonna just get it out this once. I don't like to play in. I guess that's more handicaps, dog. If you're in 10th place after 82 games, enjoy your summer.
It sounds like they already started enjoying their summer.
Like, dog, come on, man. And has a 10th place team won a playing game yet? Like, what are we doing here? So, but anyway, man.
But yeah,
you can't. They can't never get it all the way right. But whatever, man. Just glad they at least trying to address that tape foul thing, because that's like, dude, that's what 50-year-olds do playing pickup when they trying to slow the game down. Like, come on, man, is this ridiculous?
Yeah. The era we in, I'm just looking at Adam, man. Like, dog, you can't give everything to the players, dog. You gotta make these dudes earn it. I mean, damn, bro. We hear all day about how they bigger, stronger, faster, more conditioned, blah, 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 BS. You should be able to run back on defense with no problem and not be huffing and puffing. So something clearly tells me that ain't the case. It's annoying. It also extends the game, make the game longer because you basically stopping the game or whatnot. It just caters to what the NBA whole thing is. They paying these guys an outrageous amount of money, so for their product, they want to extend the lifespan of their product as much as they can. That's really what these rules are all about. It sucks, but that's how the owners and all them, that's how they feel about it, man. But man, you gotta let these dudes rock, man. It's hurting the game in a sense. It's just dumb. The play-in, yeah, I hate it too. But it got so bad with the tanking, they had to do something. You know what I mean? That's why I like it for what's going on, because it's just, they had to make these dudes play, because about March, the team's done. Like, the team's there, yeah, we good. We getting ready for the draft picks and stuff, and they know it. You know, you go to games, it was bad. You know, before the pandemic, you go to games and, man, stars sitting out. They sitting out the starters. They bringing up G Leagues, and the fans ain't paying all this money to come see them. But it just created bad business. So now it's like, Slim, if you can't make the play-in, it's an issue. You know what I'm saying? And I think the Hawks made a run last year. They were like 9th or 10th or whatever. They won a few games and almost got in the playoffs just last year. So I think that really made it, all right, it's here to stay or whatnot. But that's all of it. It makes them have to play, which they should be doing as professionals anyway. Dog, look, man, the world we living in, man, it's just weird, man. I just do what I do, stay quiet. It's frustrating, man. I'm serious, man. But I just like honest basketball. Just let the ball and the chips fall where they may, and whoever wins, they deserve to win. Give them props. If you don't like it, get in the gym and get better. Come back stronger next game or next year. It's really not that hard, man. But I wish Adam Silver. I miss David Stern. I'm gonna just say that, man. Like I miss David Stern. I hate this. Look,
yeah, he went for the bull.
None of this would be flying. Like, oh
man, dog.
Like, hey, what Wilson call him? Like flat Earth. We might not hear from him again.
Oh, 3 years ago.
Oh, it'd have been. Hey, you just resigned? What? Man, you better stay your ass in Brooklyn. We reneging any trade. All right, go ahead.
Man, look, Kyrie would have. They'd have waterboarded that man and put the vaccine in him himself.
The stories I've heard about David Stern, G-checking players, man, when they get out of line, man, he'll try to talk to you when it wasn't sinking in. He could just get right to the point. Do you want to still play NBA basketball or you want to go overseas? It'd be that just straight to the point. This is what you need to do. In the meeting, shake your hand. All right, I don't want to hear no more about this. Adam too nice, man. Like, man, look, it's clear. For every Giannis and Steph Curry, whether they protect the integrity of the game, where it's fair, you got the rest of them that abuse it. That's what's ruining the game. And it's like you can't, it's like you teach an elementary school class or something like that. You're gonna have your good kids, man. You reward them, man. They do what they're supposed to do, be on time, do their work. But you know it's gonna be the rest of them that's just gonna act up and take it. They're gonna take the extra mile, dog. And then that's what man, F it. Ain't nobody doing recess, dog. Y'all ain't here for like a month, dog. And now the rest of the kids that was doing good, they gonna police the rest of them. Like, nah, y'all ain't messing this up for me. I think it needs to be more of that, man. I'm just kind of over the player entitlement there. I'm not even gonna say empowerment there because they done abused it, man. And that's why I like to see the Steph Currys and the Giannis Antetokounmpos win because they really do it the right way. They go about it the right way, and they in return they get rewarded for doing it the right way. These other dudes trying to take shortcuts left and right, and it don't add up the same. Last question, well, not a question, actually, something interesting. Richard Jefferson refereed in Summer League last night. Look, he said going in, he always suspected the referees didn't have an easy job. He found out the hard way it isn't. He played 17 seasons in the NBA. Obviously works for ESPN. He worked just the second quarter of the game between New York and Portland, and he said it's one of the hardest things he ever had to do in basketball. He said, I didn't want to do this. The NBA asked, would I be interested? I have such a tremendous amount of respect for referees, how important they are to the game. And I've always treated every single one of them as such. I just respect them because I know their importance to our game and to the integrity to our game. This was not some honorary assignment. The NBA put Jefferson to work to get him ready. He went through hours of instruction for his 10-minute gig, studying the video with other referees and NBA execs. He's been learning the terminology that referees use, along with the responsibilities that come with working each of the three positions on how the officiating crew. Jefferson said he's certain the experience will make him a better analyst. He said it's been amazing because I love the game of basketball. I like talking about the game of basketball. Now I get the opportunity to learn a whole new piece of the game. For a basketball junkie to sit in there and see how the referees think, how they talk, how they act, how they work together as a team, that type of stuff to me is so beneficial. The key thing I got from him in that is how hard it was. Look, we're gonna start with you, Ray. Just what are your thoughts on him stepping out? He became a rep, man. Kudos. Ain't no way.
Yeah, I thought that was actually dope to see, man. Like somebody actually put themselves in a fire like that, you know, because it's not easy. Like I've ref before, obviously not nowhere near that level, but it is way harder than people think. If you never been in the floor of a game with that whistle, you don't know what it's like. Like even at the high school level, the game go way faster when you gotta decipher action in real time. Like so, and I mean, even like that's why even when I coached and when I played, like I might have had one episode with a ref in my entire life, and that's because they was just out of line and terrible. So and even then, like after the game, I went back, and kind of apologized or whatever, because I mean, like at the end of the day, man, people human, and if he was making the mistakes in my favor, I probably wouldn't have said nothing. So yeah, man, like more people need to do that. They need to make more people do that, because you really, once you see somebody else's job firsthand, then you really respect them more and get a better understanding, and maybe that will help you and how you approach the game and how you play or coach or what have you. Because I mean, it's playing is different from coaching is different from refereeing. Like, they're all different aspects of the game that you really honestly have no clue about unless you've done it. So yeah, man, I like how he stepped in and did that. Like, and like he's, like you say, he's a 17-year veteran and doing a summer league game, and he looked like a fish out of water, man. Like, it's like it, and then to hop in, like, I mean, summer league is summer league, but that's still one of the highest levels of basketball. Like, it's a crash course, man. That to be his first experience. Yeah, I know he was like, man,
Good.
I respect this dude. So, right. So yeah, but no, that was cool, man. That was real cool.
Wilson.
Yeah, it was funny. And also, like Ray said, people should, take a page out of that sometimes. It's because we're in the age where everybody talks before thinking. Lower researching is an unheard thing. Even though, we all got computers in our pockets, watches, and everything else, but still be jumping out here saying any old thing by any old body at any given time. Like Ray said, just taking a step in somebody else's shoes goes a long way to understand it. Like, think about, again, going off what you just said, right? Dude's played basketball his entire life. 17 years at the highest level in the world, right? Gets a whistle around his neck and was like, huh? Excuse me? Whole different language, right? And I like, again, I'm definitely going to do my best, because I want to see how it's going to play a role. Like, after doing that just for a little bit, yeah, you're going to end up looking at the game differently now, because it's a way you never looked at the game at all. So I can't wait to see how it impacts his analysis this upcoming season. I definitely can't wait for that. But kudos to him for doing it, because obviously we're in a time where a lot of people don't want to learn new things or put themselves out there to even try new things or try to understand how somebody else might do something. So kudos to him for that, and I definitely look forward to see what the fruits that come out of it.
I'll tell you.
I thought it was super dope. Like, it was pretty cool. Like, it was something they did earlier this season where they kind of showed like the behind the scenes of the refs and like the stuff that they do in between quarters, the discussions that they have. And I thought that was pretty interesting as well. And it kind of, to me, was like another variation of that to put Richard Jefferson in the situation. And just like you said, he's been playing basketball all his life. As soon as he became a ref, it was like everything was a foreign language, something completely different. Like, he's seen who knows how many referees put their hand up when somebody.
I think she went out.
Yeah, I think she went out.
Yeah, I'm gonna just chop that until she get back in. Yeah, I thought it was dope.
Okay.
Oh, you said it. You go ahead.
I was like, what happened? So just to see the difference and being somebody who's played, being somebody who's worked the clocks at multiple locations, you see how hard referees get rode. Like, and you can actually hear the conversations that they have with each other. And I mean, I've seen people fight refs, okay? So I know it is a very, very tough job to do. So for him to take that initiative or to take the opportunity to learn what they do and actually go out there and perform it, like you said, being a fish out of water, and go out there and attempt it, kudos to him. And hopefully they give other people at ESPN or other people, whoever in their little realm of people, opportunities to do that, because I would love to see a lot of different people in that position to see how they would react as well.
Yeah, for me, just real quick, it goes back to how I always feel about people who talk about certain things. It seems like basketball is the one sport where everybody knows, but most really don't know shit. You just know they don't. And the people that never, you could tell a person never been involved with basketball real quick, the first sentence when they talk about certain things, this is why I always say you got to respect every aspect of the game because it's different.
Mhm.
Like this man played for 17 years, and one of the things he said was, like he was messing up. It's all the highlights. And they were smiling. The Knicks were smiling. People behind the table were smiling. I'm like, yeah, it ain't so. And he was talking about my bad. Refs coming in there like, no, dog, ball this way. He's like, all right, it's white, my bad. Like he had to correct himself. The main thing about reffing that people understand, you gotta be in shape. You gotta run because you gotta be in position to see what the hell is going on. You can't, shit. I keep you're like, nah, bro, it don't work like that. They're like, get this fat. Everybody, you have to respect every aspect, man. And the thing I despise is, especially in the league players, it's a lot of cats in the league that feel like because they played that they didn't know everything. And I'm like, nah, bro. Like when I got schooled on the front office by all them GMs and scouts and directors of basketball operations and stuff like that, bro, it was like graduate school. And I'm like, hold up, dog, what the hell? And that made me see basketball a totally different way when it comes to how to evaluate, why they make certain moves that they do, why they why they don't sign certain players, why they get out the money they do to certain players, like why certain players aren't in the league that a lot of fans don't even look at. And one of the main things you learn is that, you are who you can guard. That's why I would say, bro, if you can't play defense, you're not gonna last long in the league. But all people want to look at, man, he can score the ball. Well, all the teams already got scores. Even Houston Rockets, they were like the worst team last year. They still got Jalen Green and Kevin Porter and all those guys that can put the ball on the hole. So even if it's a youngin coming in, you're not going to be able to just come in there and jab. On a young team, you're not going to be able to do that. So you got to figure out a way to make an impact on the little things. That's the stuff you learn by getting in another seat, so to speak, man. And it makes you appreciate when you get in that seat, it makes you appreciate the overall totality. It's hard. Just like I'm sure everybody, the main thing on Twitter I see, NBA Twitter, it's a whole lot of coaches out there. They think they coach in AAU and high school and all that. College coaches are more chill because they worried about their job. But the AAU and high school coaches, they think they could just walk in the league and coach. Yeah, you should hear the stories I hear from them, man. They be like, man, someone will be doing that if I was coaching. I'm like, so what would happen? I'll bench his ass. You'll be fired the next day. That's how you will be fired and unemployed. Like, come on, man. You think it's all good, dog? Especially in the player empowerment area. Come on, man. See, all that stuff, what people lack is perspective. And that's why what RJ did is dope. Because it shows a perspective that, and now I'm more of a fan of him now because it's like, look, he's willing to keep learning. As much as he done did, won a championship, played in the finals, super athletic, man, changed his game as he went on. He done put in work. As much as damage he done did on the court and stuff, my man's still humble enough to go put in work where you got these other retired players, fat and done, washed for real, and they acting like can't nobody tell them nothing. Man, I'm trying to tell people it's different in every lane. You got to respect every lane. The same work you put in as a player to get to that level is the same work you got to put in to thrive as a ref, as a coach, as a scout, if you're a GM. It has to work that way because Quentin Richardson said it best, and it's real. You can't come up in the front office and get those jobs over there like, this is what I did as a player, man. Y'all need to listen to me. And my boys like, just you, and they're going to let you go right away. Like, no, don't come in there with that. You ain't going to last long. Because now it's like you on our turf now. It's more like that. I ain't have your ability, but now it's like you on our turf now. So you need to come in there with some humility and just understand what's going on. And once you come there with a humility and everything like that, you get accepted, then you can apply what you did as a player, and that makes you even more valuable because you did play the game. But like I said, I think it's dope as hell what RJ did, man. I hope it sets a precedent, man, because look, he did something I know I can't do. Ain't no way in hell you're going to be screaming in my face. I'm going to jail. Like, I know I am. It's just not possible. I'm not taking that shit. Like, I don't care. It's dope as hell, man. So I actually got more respect for him when he talk. I'm gonna listen more than some of his, Lord knows, some of the other co-hosts on that network that just they take their quotes from ball stack and shit. We not gonna get into that, man. But yeah, because he's willing to learn, man. So even the stuff he don't know, he's willing to learn it, and that's gonna make him better overall as an analyst.
Yeah, that last part, man. Doing my best not to further that conversation. Well, thank everybody for hanging with us this week. So happy to be back for another episode of the Focus TV. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place as always. Get over our Roku channel every Wednesday morning by 9 a.m. That week's episode of Focus TV is up. Also get over DCTV Friday nights, 10 p.m. as well. Don't forget, Kenner League, miss this outlook. We're going to look up. NFL is back in like 2 weeks. They even ramping their crazy news cycle up, and they started like yesterday with some of that nonsense. The summer league, y'all saw how quick NBA summer league got here, right? When that thing ends, it's going to be like training camp. It's going to be here just like that. So y'all enjoy this week. Don't forget to follow Focus TV on our social media mediums. Get over to FocusTV.com. As always, y'all have a great week. Thank you for spending it with us.